Dyer's Daily. This week is the 10th anniversary of when I graduated from university. Now, those that know me know that I have a very mixed amount of feelings and emotions when it comes to that time in my life. And it's taken a long time to come to a period of acceptance because, in hindsight, it perhaps wasn't the best course for me to be on. Perhaps the subject wasn't quite right. Maybe I didn't time it correctly. There were just lots of decisions that I had to make at the time that perhaps weren't the wisest. And it's taken me a long time to come to terms with that. And I think it came in a number of stages. And here they are. Stage one, I feel, upon graduating, I had a sense of denial and defiance, a kind of denial of just wanting to move forward and not look back and, oh yeah, I finished that now and now I must go forward with it. And defiance, just that defiant attitude of, well, I can do what I want now, kind of a thing. I can go in the direction I want because I studied media, which didn't really cover radio. I wanted to be in radio, so I was like, I'm just going to charge forward with radio and not look back. And then I realized that in order to go forward, certainly in the kind of radio I was producing local, I had to make connections. And the only connection that I could really find at that time was with the university. So I had to have a begrudged acceptance of that time, because you have to work with people and, you help them, they help you, kind of a thing. And so there is that begrudged acceptance there. And then once I'd finished doing that, I had a sense of anger, because after 6-7 years, you think, well, what have I done in those 6-7 years? The radio thing hasn't quite gone to plan. That defiant attitude didn't go to plan. So the first thing you do is you kind of blame the first step, I guess, which was graduating from university and that time in your life. And it coincides with a lot of other feelings that you're having at that time. And then you have a number of life events that happen to you, which I feel triggers acceptance. I'm sure that we've all been through things where we say, that thing I used to fret about many years ago, for whatever reason, the thing I feel regret for, or something I did, now doesn't seem quite so relevant because something else has happened that kind of eclipses it or makes it seem irrelevant. And for me, it was getting married and having a family and all things like that, that made me realize that life comes in a number of stages and you have a number of decisions to make. Some of them are right, some of them are wrong, but whatever you think of them, it brings you to this moment. So now, through that denial and defiance, through that begrudged acceptance, through that anger, through the triggers and everything, I had to go through that in order to get to the bit that I am at now, which I really like. Of course I do. I love it. I love where I am now and where my life is now. So I now thank my experience at university for enlightening me in ways that led me to the path to where I am now. So I'm sorry if this is really confusing, but this took a long time to come to this moment. And so if you've ever made a decision to study something or to go for a certain job and you're feeling kind of regretful, but now you're in a position where you are accepting and like where you are, thank that experience for it. I certainly do. That is where I am. So 10 years ago, I graduated from uni. I could not have known that this is where I was going to be, sat in front of a microphone talking to you didn't make it in radio, but found podcasting, because life isn't always, it seems, about just making a path and following it. It's about going along a number of different paths, even if you didn't expect it. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know your experiences. Thank you for listening.
Dyer's Daily.